Good morning. I'm Greg Howes. This is Morning Pulse. Welcome. Good to have you on with me this morning, and hope that you're well rested and ready to go for this day. Cornerstone people, we are reading the Bible. So let's stay up with our Bible reading schedule as we are into this last day of June, heading into the month of July, starting the second half of 2026. Wow. Isn't that amazing? But here we are. So keep up with that Bible reading schedule. It's so important that we stay up with that. Tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. Central Time is the Life Table right here online. So we invite you to come on in and join us tomorrow evening. And then also a quick reminder, this Sunday is the first Sunday of the month. And on the first Sunday of the month, we have Soak. So we will be in Soak this Sunday, July the 5th, at 8:45 a.m. So we hope that you will be able to come on in and join us. It'll be in person and online, but of course we want you to be in person. So come on in. It's going to be good. Let's jump into what we have as we're beginning another week of Morning Pulse. And so, as usual, we will review a bit and add a bit. So let us proceed as we continue to declare that family is critical. Family is critical. That's important for us to understand. Family is critical. Keep that in your heart. Here's the quote from Alex Haley. In every conceivable manner, the family is the link to our past, and the family is the bridge to our future. That is such a definitive statement as we can look back at where we have come from. We can look back at our family bloodline. We can see the generations that went before us. But then we understand that we are here standing where we are right now, and there is a plurality of generations that are coming out of us that will carry our bloodline. It will carry our family, our name, our legacy into the future. Family is the key to that, the link to our past and the bridge to our future. That's so powerful. So powerful. Mother Teresa said the way you help heal the world is to start with your own family. Heal the world by starting with your own, starting in your own house. And so that means we want to practice grace, forgiveness in our families. We want to listen to understand in our families. We want to practice unconditional love in our families. Love without condition. We want to practice empathy in our families, feeling what the other ones are feeling, tapping into what's happening with them, being moved with compassion. We want to practice kindness in our families. And we added this statement, we want to solve the loneliness and the isolation in our families. No one lonely, no one isolated. That is our goal. We're going to pull our family members out of isolation. We're going to pull them out of loneliness. This is all about love, acceptance, and forgiveness. Love your people, accept your people, and forgive your people. This is how we heal the world. We start with our own family. I know some of these things are tough. They're challenging. They go against the grain of our flesh. But this is where God is calling us to live, in our families. So important. We believe that if we can recover this fathering dimension, that we will have the positioning, the capacity, the power, the ability the know-with-all to heal the world. To heal the world. That the hearts of the fathers be turned to the children, and the hearts of the children be turned to their fathers. To dismiss the curse from the face of the earth. This comes by recovering the fathering dimension. This is what we are working on. This past Sunday at Cornerstone, I gave this scripture. Proverbs 17 and verse 6 says, grandchildren are the crown of the aged, and the glory of children is their fathers. Two statements there. So let's break that in two for just a moment. As a crown is a symbol of honor, it's a symbol of victory, it's a symbol of prestige, so grandparents are adorned and honored by their grandchildren. That's powerful. I love it when my grandchildren come around and they call me Papa. Papa. Papa, I love you. Papa, can you do this? Papa, can you do that? Papa. Grandparents are adorned and honored by their grandchildren. This is family. Then the next statement is that children live in the character, the wisdom, and the legacy of their fathers. It implies that a father's righteous living and guidance serve as a source of dignity and respect for the younger generation. Did you get that? A father's righteous living and guidance serve as a source of dignity and respect for the younger generation. So we're moving now in the power of family. We're seeing family lifted up, family being magnified in our view, even in these moments that we share together. Now, there are certain words that have become important over just the last few days. It's important that we keep adding new words to our vocabulary, new words to our points of emphasis. And this is one of those words that is circling among us right now. It's the word philanthropic. It's about being devoted to helping others, promoting human welfare, supporting social causes. It is love for people, love for humankind, philanthropic. So this is something God seems to be emphasizing among us right now. Dr. Yolanda Powell presented this word to us last Wednesday in our midweek live stream, philanthropic, and it's been pulsating in us ever since then. That God is calling us to understand what it means to be philanthropic, to love humankind, to serve humankind, to promote the welfare of people. So this is something we want to learn about. We want to excavate being philanthropic and then begin to execute what it means in our everyday practical living. Philanthropic is going to take us into Romans 8, verse 19. The Amplified Classic Version says, "For even the whole creation, all of nature, waits expectantly and longs earnestly for God's sons to be made known." Creation is waiting for the revealing, the disclosing of their sonship. This means we are rising up to be the answer to problems in the world. Things that the creation is waiting for, longing for, crying out for. We are here as the sons of God to bring about solutions, to bring about answers. So our declaration is we are solutionists. This is where being philanthropic is going to take us. It's taking us to the fulfillment of Romans 8:19. Love humankind, serve people, because the whole creation is longing for the sons of God to be raised up, the sons of God to be revealed. So this is where we are moving. So we must understand this word, philanthropic. That's one of the words. Then this past Sunday, Dr. Anthony Earl gave us a couple of more words. And when he was speaking about these words, he called them pillars. He said, these are your two pillars. The first one is identity, and the second one is virtue. Identity and virtue. And then he said, the foundation of these pillars and the manifestation of identity and virtue will be kingdom power. When we know our identity and we are living in the power of virtue, we will see kingdom power manifested among us. This is what Dr. Earl gave us last Sunday, June the 28th. Identity and virtue. So we have being philanthropic. So let's work on that definition. Then we have identity, one of these two pillars, the other being virtue. So let's work on these two pillars, identity and virtue, and expect, believe for the manifestation of kingdom power. And we're looking for identity and virtue to show up in a powerful way in our families. In our families. So this is what we are expecting, yeah? So in Isaiah 43, God says, I want you to see this. I want you to behold this. I am doing a new thing. God is doing a new thing. That new thing is connected to Genesis 12:3. God says to Abraham, in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. The word blessed there means praised. Families will be congratulated. Families will be saluted. There will be an acknowledgement of greatness in our families. So this is telling us that we must begin to shift our terminology when we're speaking about our families. Let's shift our vocabulary when we're talking about our families. This is so critical to us because God's new thing is that the family will be praised. The family will be congratulated. The family will be saluted. The family will be acknowledged for its greatness. So we're not going to speak in ways that are destructive toward our families. We're not going to curse our families, but we're going to speak in positive, uplifting, healing, restorative ways about our families. This is God's new thing. The family will be lifted up. The family will be lifted up. So in Isaiah 43, God says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. Important statement. God says, see, look at this, behold this. I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. That implies that there's a seed that has been planted. This is agricultural language. The sprout is coming up through the soil. Now it springs up. The seeds that have been planted, the seeds of the new thing, the seeds of family, the seeds of recovering the fathering dimension, the seeds of parenting. Now it's springing up. This is the time of manifestation. This is the time of production. God says, do you not perceive it? You can't have it if you don't see it. Do you see it? Do you perceive it? Do you understand it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. So we have to start changing our speech patterns concerning our families. And that takes us to Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, the power of our words, and those who love it will eat its fruit. The New Century Version makes it a little clearer. What you say can mean life or death. Those who speak with care will be rewarded. Whew. What you say about your family, what you say about your family members can mean life or death. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And if we will speak with care, if we will give our attention to speaking words of blessing to our families, we will be rewarded. We'll be rewarded. We'll see transformation happening in our families. So, this verse is telling us that our everyday speech shapes our reality. Our everyday speech influences the people around us. And our everyday speech ultimately yields either destructive consequences or fruitful, uplifting results. So how are we speaking about our family members? How are we speaking about relationships in our homes? How are we speaking about our families? Because it's going to bring about either something destructive or it's going to be something that is uplifting and productive. Our words, death and life, are in the power of the tongue. What we say has the tangible capacity to heal, to encourage, and to build up people and things. Or what we say has the tangible capacity to hurt, to destroy, and to break people and things. So we must take care in how we are speaking about people and how we're speaking about things going on in our families. Because it's either going to yield something destructive or it's going to yield something that's uplifting. Our words can build something long-lasting and positive and good, or our words can destroy and break people. You know, we can actually break people with our words. Let's give our attention to these things. That's Proverbs 18:21. We reap what we say. We reap what we sow. We know that that's scriptural, but it's also true that we reap what we say. This verse notes that those who love it will eat its fruit. This means the way we communicate eventually comes back to impact our own lives and the environments that we are living in, the environments that we're working in. What we say, the words we use, how we communicate will come back to us to impact us and to impact our environments. That's just the truth of the matter. That's the way God designed things to work. Reaping and sowing. And it happens with our words. Such a powerful realization. James 3 adds on to Proverbs 18:21, where James writes about the tongue, our words. And he says the tongue has the power to direct. James says that the tongue is like the rudder on a sailing vessel, just a small rudder, and yet it can direct the way in which the vessel is going. So our tongues, our words, our vocabulary has the power to direct. Our words have the power to destroy. James talks about a destructive fire, a fire that consumes everything in its path. Our words are like that kind of fire. Our words can destroy. James also talks about sweet water and bitter water, the power to curse, like bitter water that contaminates. Our tongues have that power. Our words can release cursing, bitter water that contaminates others, contaminates our families. And our words carry the power to bless. We can bless, we can build something, we can encourage something, we can heal something with the power of our words. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. This is the new thing, realizing how we are speaking about our families. How are you talking about your family? What is the language that you are using when you refer to your family? This is something we need to understand. So Isaiah 43:18 says, do not dwell on the past. Loosen the hold of what defined you. Loosen the hold of what has defined other people. Loosen the hold of what has defined the past. You're not in the past anymore. The people you've been talking about are not in the past anymore. They're not the same people they used to be. Could it be that God has dealt with their hearts? The very people you feel like damaged you or traumatized you in some way, could it be that God has been dealing with them and shifting them and changing them? Can we let go of those past defining words concerning people and things, concerning our families? Those people are different now. Circumstances are different now. You have built a new house. You've built a new family. It's not what you came from. You're doing it right. You're carrying the blessing of God. You are a solutionist. You're anointed for this moment. You have the grace of God that is sustaining you. So let us begin to recognize the power of our words when it comes to our families. Now, we're going to keep on digging into this, and we'll see what else God has for us. Keep up with those words, philanthropic, identity, and virtue. And let's find out some more about that. And God's going to help us. God is with us, and he will help us, someone said. Yeah, that's good. You're going to have a good day today, and everything you put your hands on will prosper. It will be successful. God bless you so much. Have a great day. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. I'll talk to you soon.